Welcome back to Cooking with Big Mark. This week we are going to be bookending onto last week's discussion of phyllo dough with a discussion of using puff pastry.
Yes, good Pepsi. Good day to you all. If you need to do a little rising in your life, you can use puff pastry. The puff pastry we're talking about is frozen puff pastry. To make it yourself is a long, arduous task. Very fulfilling once you do it, but you can buy it frozen now. And the only thing when you're buying frozen is to check the ingredients, be sure it's made with butter. Pepperidge Farm, for example, makes theirs with vegetable oil, and you don't really want that. It's the whole secret of puff pastry. These multi-layers you're building up, and the butter gets in the steam, and that's what makes the layers rise. And so the big thing you want to do when you're checking it out is if you're going to use it on a Wednesday, take it out, put it in your refrigerator part on Tuesday. Let it come up slowly, thawing. And it should be completely thawed. If you try and, it comes in a package folded, and if you try and open it up, not frozen, it'll just break. And it becomes impossible to work with. So you take it out, open it up flat. It'll end up usually like a rectangle, probably like a 2 by 3 or something. 18 inches by 40 or something along that line. And you can take a little, if it cracks a little bit or something, you want to smooth it out, take a rolling pin and lightly go over. Don't go down heavy because again, you put your weight on it, you're squashing down again the possibility of the layers rising, which is not what you want to do. The other thing is, as I say, is you have to keep it cold because it's what's in the main ingredient is butter. Butter melts, it comes out, and again, you're nullifying these layers that you're trying to build up. An egg wash, being handy, is always something else. All it is just one egg beaten with a fork, add a little touch of water. And what you do is use that on different preparations, either to lubricate it, to have grated cheese cling to it, or to seal edges for turnovers. That's what egg does, when you crimp it. So one of the more fun uses are the great palmiers, they call them, or elephant ears. And those are done. You take that long rectangle you have, and you sort of get it, and I like to brush it with a little egg wash, then sprinkle sugar, either the turbinado sugar or Denomara, which are coarse cut sugars. You can also use brown sugar if you want. And what you do is take that the long rectangle, and you fold one side into the middle halfway, the other side into the middle halfway, and then you trick that down, egg wash it again, hit it with some more sugar. Then you take again half of it, fold one half over the other top, like you're closing a book. And you take that and you just let it sit for a minute. That should go into the refrigerator for about half an hour, again to reset the butter. Then all you do is bring it out and you rub it at 425, and then just cross cut it into little cookies, just like slicing some meat or something to slice it, but to slice it a cookie thickness, and just bake it. It comes down, and it takes a very short time. All you're trying to do is cook the puff paste so it gets a little golden and sizzling. Boom, take it out. That's done. Let it sit for a little while, and you want to use that up fairly soon. Any of these puff paste things do not go well with a long time out. You want to use them right away. So whatever you're doing, like 1.5 to 2 hours afterwards at most. Other things you get into the turnover style things, anything you can do with turnovers. I mean, the same thing we do with the phyllo dough. Any salad combination, ham, cheese, peanut butter, and jelly. That also we talked about with the goat cheese, prosciutto, and fig can go inside it. One combination I thought was nice was one of bacon, onion, and apples. And what they did was dice the bacon, saute it, take it out, drain off the fat, maybe leaving 1 tablespoon. Sauteing your onions in that, and once they become a little opaque, then throw the apples in, caramelize those with the onions, then put your bacon in just enough to mix it. Then you take 2 or 3 tablespoons, put it in on your square, fold it up, turnover style, egg wash the edges, fold it, crimp it with a fork, and boom, you're off. The other thing in the old days, I haven't heard talk about much lately, patty shells. And these used to be in the old days the hostesses or caterers help or assistant, because they were big, bulky puff paste sort of cups that they would serve things like creamed chicken or stroganoff on Newburghs in. And the good thing about it was you didn't need that much stuff to fill it. As you after you do it with rice, you have to use more. So it was sort of a saving thing, and it was being bulky and facing it filled you up at the same time. But now you can do those yourself by taking the same things we're doing the phyllo dough, either a mini cupcake pan or a large one, fold it down into it. The only thing you might want to do then is dock the bottom, what they call docking. Actually, you're going to poke it with a fork to let some of the steam escape so it doesn't puff up too much at that point. And bake those again. You don't need a real hot oven. That 375 will do it. Again, 8 or 9 to 10 minutes, and they should be done. Again, if you want to be very sure of keeping the shape, you have 2 muffin pans, put one on top of the other, and that'll keep it, keep it intact. We talked about Napoleon's last week with the phyllo dough, because the original Napoleon was made with puff paste. And that's when you take that big square when you undo it and lay it on a sheet pan and cook it flat. That you can roll out. You can roll a little bit heavier, because that we want something thinner and crisper. And that you really have to dock with a fork, go all the way over, because that's going to really rise. And you just bake that, and again for a short time, then take it out, cut it in little squares, and fill it again like the Napoleon, multi-layered of pastry cream, whipped cream, jams, jellies, anything you want. It can be savory as well. Instead of sugar and things, you can use cheese on it when you're doing it.
Or mushrooms, I would imagine.
Yeah, cheese straws are another thing that that you use. And take the long strips and cut it in little teeny strips. Egg wash that, sprinkle it with grated cheese of some kind, then take it and twist it. So it comes in like a long twisted, like the old licorice sticks used to be. And egg wash that, put a little bit of more cheese on it. And it's a great hors d'oeuvre thing to do. And that can be sweet too, but most part it'll be all different kinds of cheese. Then the final thing would be any kind of a casserole dish that you'd have, like chicken pot pie, or the famous dessert thing, the tarte tatin, which is the famous apple one, where you take a deep pan, a saucepan with straight sides, and you cut your apples, and so you place the rounded side down when you cut it in quarters, and set that in a whole pile of brown sugar and butter and cinnamon or other flavors, and then you caramelize it on the stove. And do it. Then when it's done, you put the puff paste on the top of it, put it in your oven, and you push it down, the puff paste not on the rim, but down onto the fruit itself. And then after a while, oven is probably 375 for 25 or 30 minutes. If it comes out right, you should be able to reverse it on a plate. And your puff paste is now on the bottom, sopping up all that beautiful caramelization. And your apples are all staring at you with nice rounded butt bottoms looking at you. And you can take them and glaze them with some apricot or currant jelly and jam, and heat it. You have a nice glaze, beautiful fruit juice. You can be any other fruit. So those are all the possibilities with puff paste. So get some, try it, and have fun.
All right, awesome. Well, we're doing something a little different today. I think with puff pastry, biscuits, all those kinds of things, sparkling wine is really good because it provides the same kind of textural excitement that the layers do, and adds a little something. So I'm trying something I've never tried before. I've always wanted to try this. This came out in 2004 from Coppola Winery, named after the director, Sofia Coppola, of course, Francis Ford's daughter. It comes, it's essentially the same size as a split, but this was to a certain degree a marketing exercise. I have no idea how good this is going to be. It could be awful, but the primary grape in it is Pinot Blanc, which is one of the 6 allowed grapes. Oh, this is clever. Okay, it has a little extension situation. I'm literally gonna open this can. I have my straw like a juice box. This was made to sort of facilitate nightclub drinking and poolside drinking where glass was not allowed and people could still feel, chic. So let's give this a try. And it tastes like a carbonated juice box. So there we go. It was an experience. Thank you for tuning in to Cooking with Big Mark, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week, hopefully with an increase in wine quality.
All right.